Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Okay. Once again, sorry about Tuesday, guys. I was just kind of in rough spot and just was not opportune.
I'm here.
Hello.
I thought for a second that some cat was running at the microphone.
You weren't completely off. Where's my character sheet?
That
I'm
depends.
afraid
Which
your
one do you
character
want?
sheet has been
Here it is.
destroyed. All of your character sheets have been destroyed. Left for dead.
Okay, I revert back to my normal form because I wild shaped into a piece of paper.
Okay. So there is a greater. Well, hang on. Let me just put out a message because I know I invited some of the people in the Saturday group who, since Danny doesn't have a game today, it's tomorrow. If they
Have
want
you
to
heard anything from anyone?
I have not heard from anyone, but I will post a question, and there is a greater than likely chance we just switch over to the general broadcast if I hear anything back.
Okay. What did you say your opinion was on allowing homebrewed content?
Let me see it first. Usually, if it's not in the folder I have pinned already.
Okay. I say this because I like turning into dinosaurs, but some dinosaurs that I want to turn into are not in the monster manual. So if I get to where I might want to do that, like before the session, I'll just show it to you and see if that's okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, sauropod would be pretty cool.
Tanner,
Huh?
what about Trilobite?
Trilobite?
Yeah.
You know,
Reject humanity. Return to Trilobite.
I would have kept my ass in the primordial soup if I knew there were going to be days like this.
I don't know.
No one has homebrewed a trilobite. Take it back, yes they have. CR0, awesome.
CR0. That's
It's slower on underwater than it is on land.
okay. I mean, very much legged. So
They are the much-legged, our mortal enemy.
Check this damage. 1d1.
Did you guys know that centipedes can never have 100 feet?
Centipedes never have 100 feet.
Yeah, there are no known species to have 100 feet naturally.
That's
That's
true.
interesting. It's hard to hear you, though.
So it just invalidates their entire name.
Yes, they can have between 58 and 366 legs, but no
Jeez.
species have exactly 100.
Okay.
I'm hoping I have people. I'm wondering if people have interest because in the game, just for the sole purpose of it will make your allies and enemies very different and interesting.
Have any what? Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry.
I threw some fuel into the fire to see if that attracts anyone.
There are dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Dinosaurs are interesting, I will admit.
Yeah, I hope we level up this go.
I think that's probably safe. Safe bet.
Yes.
Though there is also the idea that this mission is it's a shorter one, so I'm looking towards the end at sight. I know what the final encounter is probably going to be.
We are short and
sweet.
proud.
Okay. So Zane and Sarah are on, but I don't see them typing or putting anything in chat, so
I know.
I'm gonna give them until at least my clock says 10. That's 3 minutes from now at least, based on the one I'm looking at. So if nothing else, then we can start.
All right.
Here. Actually, let's just switch to general broadcast just for the hell of it, just so that they see people if they're interested.
Well, now.
Okay. Oh. If not, it's okay. I have some characters that I can give to you if you want to play, or if you want to dual wield.
Dual wield.
Quite literally in some cases.
Dual wield all the characters.
I wouldn't mind trying that.
Well, I'm using the retainer system from Strongholds and Followers, so it's actually a very simple kind of thing. You get a signature attack and a couple special abilities that you can do a couple of times a day, so...
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's time for me to use my special attack.
Some of them are nasty. Well, yeah. But I'm not going to tell you what, because it's more fun to be a surprise.
Signature move. Lie.
No. Worse.
My character eat hot chip and lie.
Gaseous form.
Supreme gash.
Let's see. Last thing we did was we were in the harbor town.
Mm-hmm.
I thought we were just about to set out.
Yep. Last thing was at night. And the night before.
I was confronted by woman. The warlock.
Woman warlock has confronted thee.
Yep.
So now you shall perish.
Perhaps.
Oh man. Well, I'm sorry to hear you perish. Understandable. Have a great day.
Okay. I am seeing 0 movement. So, when last we left our heroes, you were in the village town of Tier. You made a bargain with Uraim Hammerstone, captain of the Raven's Wing, in order to bring you closer into the middle of the Vane Serpent's Cove, an area that is often deep and secluded off the coast of Tier and up to the north towards the continents of Trija and Heimgard. In this cove, you have pinpointed that you are trying to pinpoint the location of a beacon that was supposedly, or at least reportedly, intercepted by the Order of the Black Tear, for which you are all operatives. While on your journey to Tier, you met with a couple of field agents who have kind of settled down and started up having a rather normal life, who told you that they are not aware of technology that would allow for this, but to be hesitant and wary. At the end of the day, and... Oop, hang on, I just got a Discord notice message. Oh, no, it's...
That's me just asking a question.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, you're
That's
good.
no one important.
Can I kill the party? Thank you.
Oh, yes, absolutely. All for more drama.
Giant constrictor snake, do your work.
Okay, and so, all cautions under your belt. You have traveled, and last night you met with the rest of the crew, a large group of quite interesting fellows. Goliaths, gnomes, dwarves, a couple of elves. Two of you as yourselves, and Norboros in disguise as Obra Dinn, a human mage. And while this disguise worked on, at least to your understanding most, the first mate, Lieutenant Amira, was able to see through your deceptions and confronted you outside, asking, well, more offering that she keeps your secret safe, but you agree to consider her the captain of the ship instead of Hammerstone. And with that, we had ended our last session, and it is time to jump into tonight's game. So, crew, what would you like to do? It is early morning. You have been woken up by members of the party who have collected your room informations or your bunking arrangements. And they are readying the ship for departure. Yes, they are readying the ship for departure as the sun is just barely cresting the horizon.
I don't know if I have
on the
it.
ship.
You did get a long rest, just for clarity and everything. Okay. If there is... Okay. So... Yeah. You begin bringing your provisions and implementations that you have purchased to the ship, packing up the last little bits that you are carrying on your person, and yes, when you are stopped by the captain and... Yes?
I think he just echoed you for a second.
Oh, my mistake. When you are stopped by the captain and first mate. Just wanted to make sure you guys were foolhardy and ready enough for whatever our voyage may take. It's going to be several days north to the areas that you had kind of indicated your interests be, and several more before we hit port afterwards. And I know tensions can often run high with crews, so...
Well,
Yes.
all the more time for us to bond, then.
Yes, indeed. Just keep in mind your allegiances as we depart. We all work for one crew who's trying to just make it to the next location, to the next stop, to the next paycheck. If you have any questions about the voyage, please, about the intents, anything, please feel free to contact me. I want to be as open and as transparent as possible with all members of crew and staff.
Good to know.
If you have any inquiries, concerns, complaints, anything of the sort, you can feel free to come to me.
I will think of something. For now, I just want to go.
Understandable.
He is, I guess, very okay with whatever happens, as long as it doesn't bother him.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good, because it might bother him.
Okay. And so, the ship is packed up, and it is roughly, probably about 6:30 in the morning when you begin to set sail off. Large sails unfurled across several different masts, and ship has 3 of them. So there's about 3 tiers up above of sails. They catch off, and there's a slight breeze heading to the north, so you're not going to get much speed off of it now, but it will pick up eventually. Where is that? All right, I wrote that one down instead of type it. Why, I don't know. So, you are out on the water. And I'm more than willing to just kind of speed through this unless there's anything specific that you want to do for each of the first 3 days until you get to around the area where you believe the beacon signal to be coming from.
Do you guys have anything you want to do for 3 days?
Nothing really serious. I mean, I guess I could say my character sometimes will walk out onto the deck and just kind of look around at the sea life.
There is no sea life, it's just water.
That's what you think.
You see a couple of larger animals kind of cresting the water occasionally, turning over and just kind of continuing on their way, swimming in kind of, I want to say almost like a V formation, but something that's a little bit more hydrodynamic to account for. They're far off, and so it's probably roughly 500 feet to your left a little bit.
During nighttime,
Mhm.
I want to come out and kind of lean up on the front of the ship and see if I can listen to the noises that I've heard the last couple days.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Perception check. Ooh. 12.
Oh, okay. 1 second. Yeah. You can listen. You can hear some kind of calls and a little bit of echoings and different almost songs being sung across the waters. Just calming, peaceful, relaxing. But not in any language that I believe you can understand.
I might as well spend my nights in my room or in the quarters.
Oh no,
I probably don't have.
this is a large ship. You would definitely have your own room.
I will spend time in my quarters and just go about my own business, not letting anyone else know what that is, but they don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Eesh. Okay. Norberus, as you kind of are on the decks, hang on a second. You hear. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. My mistake. There it is. Okay. One of the things you hear is kind of a repeating, almost warbling song crying out, just over and over again in... Do you speak Sylvan?
I speak Elvish, but not Sylvan.
Okay. So no, you might be able to distinguish a couple of phrases, but since Sylvan is one of the roots of the Elven language, but it's not particularly made out, just enough to continually listen, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Gulp.
He's the only one out there. Wait, is this nighttime?
Yes.
Okay.
Constitution saving throw. Oh my. That's
What'd you
a
get?
nat 1.
Oh.
Starting out great today.
Bring on the poison.
Not poison.
You hear this song. It's you don't quite know the words, but you get an entrancing kind of sad and mournful call into you, and it seems to be something very similar to what you'd heard the nights before. But tonight you are much closer. It's louder. It rings in your ears. And you feel yourself kind of wanting to move towards it, to try and bring yourself to whatever entity is releasing such wondrous calls. And
Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man.
you feel yourself not almost without hesitations, just moving along the riggings and climbing a little bit. I need you to make an athletics check, please. Just straight.
Okay. I add 0 to this. 10.
Okay.
Flat 10.
That's okay.
I usually do this in monkey mode.
It's probably a good thing you're not in
mode.
monkey mode right now, but you manage to kind of... It takes a little bit of struggling as your limbs kind of get tangled in some of the nets and ropes, and you kind of pull yourself up and stare out into the seas around you, feet just holding on to nets and ropes, nothing below you. And at that point you feel a sensation kind of ringing through your heads, ringing through your mind, and you fall unconscious. Thankfully, your athletics didn't kind of clear you of anything, because then you would have fallen directly into the waters below. You're kind of slightly tangled up, but in a precarious position in between the nettings and riggings of the front of the ship.
No.
And let me see how many people are around. If they notice... Ooh, that was That was interesting.
Usually interesting means something good.
Well, it was both really good and really bad. Okay. And you guys are both in your quarters, correct?
Yep.
I guess so, yeah.
If you are not, it's okay. I just wanted to know for sure.
No, I said it specifically that I was in my quarters, so.
For the first night, yeah, probably.
Okay. As you kind of slump over, you see there are a couple other figures who are kind of perusing on the decks, who do notice you after a little bit and kind of swing a lantern in your general direction. And just for the fun of it, let's roll initiative.
Oh.
What?
Just him or all of us?
Just him right now, unless you guys.
Nah, I'm fine. He can fight this off himself.
Wait, did I fall unconscious and then I wake up?
No, you are still unconscious.
Oh, I'm rolling unconscious initiative?
Yep.
And these are people on the ship?
There are 3 people on the ship, you and whatever entity has kind of entranced you.
Has you in its sway.
Okay. That is an 8 on my initiative.
Okay, that actually is not bad, because 2 of them rolled really bad.
Oh, so there's more than 2.
Yeah, 3 crew members, 1 monster, and, well, 1 unconscious Fearball disguised as a human mage. And so...
If you fall unconscious, does your disguise go away too? Or is that just a special ability?
Well, it's disguise self, but disguise self does not require concentration, so I don't think so.
No, yeah.
Alright, you should be fine then.
So dope.
I know that like alter self will go away if you're dead, but not unconscious as well. So I'm willing to rule that disguise self probably does similar.
Yeah, it doesn't really say anything about wearing off if you're unconscious.
Okay.
So that's good.
So that was their action.
Let me just make sure it's disguise self and not alters. Yeah, it's disguise self.
Okay. So, first and foremost, the one who sees you is an elven figure, kind of grayish skin, but not drow. And they are kind of going to start pulling you out, and so.
Oh, they're helping me?
Yes, and
that's good.
Let me roll. Okay, they are, and you are unconscious, so you can't really help or resist this. So yeah, they're able to kind of pull you off, but you are still unconscious.
Okay.
And you see this elven figure kind of, well, no, you don't, but the elven figure kind of waves to 2 others on the deck who come over to help, and they don't really know what's going on, so it is the creature's turn. And it kind of moves, actually no, you're unconscious, but that's not death saves, right. Sorry. And
no death yet.
Correct. You are not dead yet. And kind of out from the deck of the ship, it's kind of you see kind of wisps of cloth and clothing and hair kind of drift through the boards and planks as a creature rises up out of the ground and is going to take a melee spell attack against our good old elven friend. That
Oh,
is...
no.
Yeah, I know.
I
Actually
gotta get
really
up.
bad.
Gotta get up.
It's a natural cranky.
It was, actually.
Yeah.
And so they're going to take... Jeez, that's a lot. Okay. And so this, they kind of drop you on the deck. Not so much that you would just fail one death save already, but just like, it's not hard or far. And that was its action. So...
Wait. Do you have to make death saves if you're just unconscious, or is that if you're below 0 hit points?
Let me just read the ability again. On a failure, the creature drops 2 0 hit points, so you are unconscious and at 0. But you are, at the same time, you are not making a death save for just kind of being dropped a little bit, even though that was involuntary, and it was such a short distance that it's not going to be dangerous. Direct attack against would be 2 failed death saves, indirect would be 1. Yeah. Okay. So they're going to... I'm just going to roll 3 quick attacks. Just... Okay, they actually all would... Oh yeah, this is... They all would hit, and that's... This is... Okay.
They all hit, and you're dead. Well, okay, great game, guys.
No. They cut it down. It's... They actually are pretty successful. They managed to just cut this creature down, and... You get... Okay, now I need you to make your first death save. Since you are still... Well, no. You are unconscious and you are stabilized. I'm sorry. I am floundering over my words. It's been a little bit more than a week since I've done this.
Just make a death saving throw.
No, they're going to call it... They can call over someone and you can get back up. And it was a siren that they kind of managed to quickly dispatch. That had kind of snared you in its pitiful cries. It is reasonable to assume that this was the same kind of creature that had kind of called out earlier and has been the death of many a sailor before. But other than that fruitless encounter, I guess.
Hooray!
Yes.
We didn't even know anything happened.
Ah, my head.
Okay.
I am going to retire to my room and stay there.
Okay. And second day, the night passes and morning follows. It is the second day.
Dawn of the second day. Dun dun.
Second day.
Oh man.
As you're kind of going about your day, just kind of helping out around on the ship, Norboros, or Mr. Din,
Yeah.
roll me a perception check.
Mr. Ding Dong.
Perfect. Natural 20.
Okay.
Ooh. Finally get some good luck.
I keep forgetting to roll in the server.
It's fine. As you're going about your business, you kind of brush up against the first mate who...
Come again?
You brush up against the first mate who deposits a small slip of paper in your pocket. It reads, as you're able to stealthily kind of take a peek, "Meet us in the dining quarters at sundown tonight. If your friends are trustworthy, bring them as well.
Well, this certainly beats falling unconscious to a siren. I believe I will do such a thing. I will relay this information to my trustworthy friends
Okay.
who are trustworthy.
They say they have something to show you. Or tell you about. That's strange.
I will say, this one knows of my true face.
Oh. Was it that hard to keep it a secret?
Yeah.
Well, better luck next time.
She will not tell.
I should hope not, otherwise your whole ruse will come falling apart. And you seem to really like your ruse.
Yeah, it's cool.
Can't understand why you did it, though.
I do not want to get chased out of town.
Ah. Well,
Yes,
I
in
don't-
case you forgot, you are paying for this voyage with no money.
Oh, that's true. It would be a good idea to not get thrown out of town.
Alright. Until sundown, I'm just gonna do what I did before.
Okay. The day kind of... If there's nothing specific that the rest of you would like to do, the day passes until when Norberus is able to bring you to the dining quarters at sundown.
Hmm.
What's the roll command? Exclamation point roll?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
I believe so for this spot.
Okay. In this chamber, you see 3 individuals kind of already sitting, discussing, kind of faintly, jovially, and amongst themselves. It is the lieutenant, who you have seen several times before, a large Goliath fellow, and a small gnomish fellow.
Hold on, Tanner. Was I included in trustworthy associate?
Yes.
Okay.
We included you, goat person.
I didn't hear any protest.
Well, apparently my mic wasn't working. That's why.
Oh. I thought you fell asleep, which you said you might do.
No. Though I still might fall asleep.
Oh man, it is crazy, but don't fall asleep on us just yet.
Okay.
I'll try not to, but I've been up since 3 in the morning, so.
Oof, that is a long day. Okay. Our friends are here to meet with us. I'm going to
Quite
make
so.
this very quick, very clear. This ship has been... Well, we are sailing into uncharted waters. We are sailing in such a manner that there is no gain for any of us at the end of this journey. I have seen the commander's coffers. There is some coin, substantial, but nothing worth financing this voyage. I have, quite frankly, have no doubt, or no question of mind as to how he actually got a hold of this vessel itself.
It is quite impressive, so I would think that he had some wealth on him.
Well, you would be sorely mistaken. It is quite the ruse, but it appears he is entirely banking on the success of the voyage to have any resources whatsoever to pay us, to bring us any sort of recompense. And so when you offered this sidestepped journey that happened to be roughly along the way. Of course he was willing to take it up because it's another opportunity for him to make himself some money. And I am going to be blunt with you. Tomorrow we are planning on reclaiming this vessel at noonday.
So, you
A
plan
mutiny.
to... Perhaps not a mutiny, a usurping to establish a new hierarchy.
That is the definition, yes.
That just sounds like a warrior mutiny.
Yes, but it's not as panned by people.
And it's not quite as delightful of a term. These here are some of my compatriots. We've served several vessels. Mr. Tovok and Tick. She gestures to the Goliath and then the gnome, respectively. They have worked with me, they have agreed with me, and we have worked several jobs together, and, well, we've been running some numbers as to whether or not this voyage is actually worth commandeering. And we believe that if you all are willing to work with us, we have better than average chances at, well, bringing some order to this vessel. What say you?
Well, I would say that it'd be an interesting offer, at least. If you were to go through with it, what were you planning on doing with your fellow shipmates who might not be in the same boat as you?
Well, you see, we all are in the same boat.
Everyone?
That's
Well,
the problem.
literally, more than figuratively.
So, you think if you were able to stage this event, I should say, the others would follow suit?
The others don't necessarily need to be following suit. We just need to bring them to points of unconsciousness and not outright death. There is ample supplies on this vessel that will get us to port. At that point, they are free to leave or continue upon with us for more lucrative measures. But I have far greater plans that, quite frankly, our captain does not even see fit to entertain.
Acknowledge.
Yes. Of course, any wealth of the captain's is more than delightfully, or more than willingly going to be split amongst the entirety of the crew, as some troubles for this. The only one who actually has to perish is Hammerstone. Just clear out the old guard. That way, the new crew is taken with respect and authority as is earned and deserved.
I just assume you'd also be cutting us in on the wealth shared as well, then.
An equal share for equal work. You work with us, we take care of you.
I'm gonna look to the others and wait for them to say what they think.
I do not fight the same way you fight, but I will see what I can do. Payment is always nice.
Understood.
I am here to investigate the signal,
Yes.
but
As-
if participation will allow that process to continue, because it seems you've already made up your mind, then I will. but I have no desire to kill. At least the people on this ship.
Don't worry. You help us to bring a sense of order. I'm the only one who has blood on their hands.
Hmm.
Well, I think I can at least help at best I can. You say noon tomorrow.
Yes.
That gives us time to collect our thoughts and prepare ourselves. Uh,
Yes.
I would be willing to go along with this. It sounds like you might have a better understanding of how to run this vessel anyway.
Oh, please. In several other lives of mine, I've been captains of vessels. Yes, I have ample experience. And experience tells me that this voyage was doomed from the start.
Then we might as well make something better out of it.
She kind of looks at you with kind of a burning eyes that kind of reflect a passion and interest of grave danger, but yes, that is exactly what we'd like to hear.
Very well. I'm on board, both literally and figuratively. Haha.
Well, watch for my signals. The crew will be mostly on the main deck, taking care of their tasks. Stun them, bring them to whatever mode of capture as you would like. They don't need to die. I'd rather they didn't, for whatever it's worth.
Very well. I will make sure that none of them die unnecessarily. I'll try my best to prevent that. Of course, in the heat of battle, if they do pull something on me, I cannot be held accountable for everything.
Oh, no, maiming, wounding, scarring. Every wanderer of the seas has their tales. It's always best to enrich the pages. Tell me, one of you said that they do not... It was you, and she looks over toward Jav, that you do not fight in this manner. Is this appealing to you, or are you a liability to my cause?
I am used to the fighting of court and more subtle measures. And I'll pull off my backpack and pull out a vial. There are other ways to go about the termination of another. And I hand it to her. And it's a slightly blue, pale looking liquid. One of the ones that I brewed up with my poisoner's kit.
Okay.
Ones that do not cause such unrest within the crew. Perhaps it's another way. Either way, it'll make him sick at least. A little bit more unprepared.
I will take that as most duly noted. And she kind of takes the vial and kind of stares into it, thinking for perhaps other reasons, other ideas, and eventually slips it into a bag. Noonday tomorrow. Watch for my signals. And this ship and all of her glories will be ours.
Yo ho ho.
Fiddle
Yo ho ho, as they say. Essentially.
And with that, the meeting is mostly adjourned. If you have any questions, she is more than willing to talk, as are the other mutineers.
Did she say we outnumbered the people who aren't on our side?
It's roughly 1-to-1. Roughly. They have one more.
I was gonna say if we outnumbered them more, we could just try to intimidate them into not fighting.
Well, they
I
feel they
pull
haven't
off a
even.
pretty convincing bear.
I feel something like that would be quite interesting to see. Yes, intimidation is always a wonderful trait to look for in crews and that of dangerous sorts.
I could summon a large animal to kind of make it flare up. Frank, you don't happen to have sleep prepared as a spell, do you?
No, nor do I know sleep is a spell.
Damn it, the hell. I was gonna prepare that until I realized that druids do not get sleep.
Druids do not sleep. They only close their eyes and listen.
You know, that actually isn't too far off if it's a wood elf druid.
Any
I
elf.
gotta look at my spell list. Prepare the proper thing.
Okay.
Do I know what happened to Tanner yesterday?
Depends on whether or not he's told you.
I definitely meant to tell them, do not go out onto the ship at night and listen to sounds. Worst mistake of my life.
Why?
So,
What the heck happened?
How do I say? Siren knocked me unconscious and almost killed me.
Ah.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Well, I think you said
those
it
are
outright.
real. I didn't think they were real, but they're real. What a wonderful world.
That would be interesting.
Okay. So, this is the point that I kind of have to ask you of. Would you guys like to have the rest of the mutineers as kind of people that you can control what they do on your turns, so that way it kind of flows a little bit easier and you have extra characters, or would you just like me to run them with the rest of the party during the battle?
I mean, are they like exceptional, like class characters, or are they just kind of commoners?
They do have some class features here. Let me go ahead and put their files in the chat.
Oh, these guys.
Yeah.
Super files.
I keep forgetting to make a character. Gun.
Yes, gun.
If nothing else, they are on your side no matter what.
No matter what.
Tick. Who's this guy?
So I'm just basically saying I'm willing to let you choose their actions and such.
Well, I don't know too.
Tick is interesting.
It's a warlord. You got an anachronist,
Anachronist.
and a sword master.
Signature attack and selects an ally who can immediately move up to. Are these guys 5th level? We're using their
They're
not 7th level stuff.
actually a little bit. They have access to their 7th level abilities, but
Ooh.
for all intents and purposes, they're more. They're kind of scaled down. They don't actually have hit points. They just roll a Constitution save to know whether or not they take a level of damage. So they really only have 7 levels of health.
Ah,
I would control Tick, although that would just be so that I can make him buff me.
Hey, synergies work. You are more than welcome to if that is what you would like to do, and the rest of your party would agree to.
Because then I can main action Bark Skin, bonus action Wild Shape, and then he can charge me, and I can just bool on them. I'll control Tick.
I don't have the brain power to control another character.
No problem.
I don't really know.
Actually, I'm not going to control Tick. Although I would want to, I know I'm going to forget about him. I'm just going to focus on Druid.
Okay. I can take care of them for you if that works as well.
Alright. Let's go.
That would work. Sorry.
Let's see. I'm preparing mutiny spells.
Okay. So the night falls, it passes, and you feel yourselves kind of charged with emotion and tension, ready for whatever battles come your way next. Okay. So, as the day draws on, you notice that things are kind of falling according to the predictions of Lieutenant Amira, and crowds are beginning to come together and gather on the decks and just be kind of going about their day-to-day chores, jobs.
Is there any significant members of the crew that we're not allied with, like that we know of?
There are several to note. Here, I know I
guess
put in
ones
the
that-
chat.
Ones that we would say are our enemies, I guess.
Okay. There is, of course, Captain Hammerstone, who is a dwarf. Seems kind of to be a bit of a fighter type. There is another dwarf, Vonnegut, who kind of, if Amira isn't by the side of Hammerstone, it is this guy. So those are kind of the two main that you are looking, who might present the most dangers to your party. Then the rest are Tordek, who is a dwarf and seems to be a little bit more arcane and religious. Azaka, who is a dragonborn knight. Lael, who is an elf with some fae and arcane connections in that ways. Ulfgar, who is the chef of the boat, and Del, who is actually the one who pulled Norboros from the mast the other time, who is a bit more skilled with punching and such and of that nature.
Oh, I don't want to hurt him. He saved my life.
Could I try and get cozied up to the Dragonborn Knight, like around this time before the thing starts?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get close to them. See, just keep an eye on them.
They are in good enough positions and completely reasonable. Roll me a deception check just to try and kind of... Deception or stealth, your choice.
I think I'll go for deception. All right, where should I roll? Should I roll with real dice or fake dice? I think I'll use fake dice.
Theoretically, it's the same, but
I know. It is the same for me, at least. Roll d20 plus 2. 7. I'm not that subtle. I'm like really interested in this person. Really, maybe a bit too interested.
okay. They are a little bit weirded out, but not particularly antagonistic towards you, at least right now. One moment while I just kind of populate some of my fields. Yep, that's completely reasonable. Okay. And you kind of begin watching around for any signs of what might be to come, as it seems everyone else is going about their day to day. And as the point when the sun is highest in the sky, you hear
As I see that it's getting close, I'm going to start showing off a pair of manacles I have to the knight. Just like I received these as I left the shore. I'm not too sure. They're just very interesting.
Oh yes, fascinating. Those look to be a dark iron that would tend to come from the north.
Huh. Yes, I don't know too much about their make, but I figured it might just be useful to have something like this on my person if I were to get in a scuffle, so to say, as I say before the signal goes off. I think.
Mind if I see them?
No. I'll hold them out, but I'm not giving them to him.
Okay. They look to be. Yes, kind of a Viserian steel forged. It's hammered out by. Yes, that's rather nice make. Probably a bit rough to get out of if you ever got caught in them, I'm sure.
Yes.
Of course, there are certainly ways to overload them,
Yes, that is true. I bet. Yes. Okay. That's all.
And you hear kind of off to the distance to the north side of the upper decks a small horn go off, and it could just be the sound of a trumpet playing in the distance. It could be the sound of someone who has spotted land or an upcoming floating mass. But as you kind of listen around and look with anticipation, the edges of the ship begin to burn in a light green flame as walls of fire begin surrounding the entirety of the upper half of the ship, preventing any sorts of escape into the waters below. I need everyone to roll initiative.
All right. I probably wouldn't have a surprise round or anything like that to try and get this guy caught up in my manacles.
No, I think a surprise round is possible. You're certainly welcome to try.
All right. Could I try and just get the manacles around his arms?
Sure, but let's get into initiative order first.
Yeah. All right.
I rolled the.
Oh.
Oh wait. I'm gonna roll on here. Actually, forget that.
2 used to roll 20, so I keep on putting /R.
Hmm.
5.
14.
Okay. Between the two of you, who has a higher dex?
I do.
I would imagine he does.
Yeah, because his
I have
his
14.
bonus was higher.
Okie dokie. You know, I would call lightning, but I'm afraid I'll hit the ship too.
Okay.
I'm afraid we're already on fire, Tanner. So
Yeah, you're right. Remind me
already
again why
on.
we're on fire?
Is what on fire?
You said we're on fire.
Oh,
What's
the outside
doing?
boundary of the ship is kind of lit up in a green flame. It doesn't actually appear to be damaging anything. It's more for display.
Ah,
It's a ward against people jumping.
this seems like the signal.
Okay. And with that, yes, you guys can have a surprise round. Okay. And yeah. So,
Ooh. Would there be something I need to roll for this?
yes, go ahead and make an athletics check.
Alrighty, that's good. My athletics is pretty decent. I keep putting down /R. I'm too used to roll 20. 9. I keep failing. I'm not very good.
In the moment, you kind of take a lunge at this dragonborn figure, attempting to grapple at them with your manacles and ensnare them in your trap, and they quickly resist, kind of catching you and holding you at bay. At best, you might have been able to only get one of their clawed hands ensnared, but certainly not both, and certainly not their weapon hand. Well, either one, but they're not manacled, is what I'm trying to say.
They're not manacled. Alright.
Okay. Well, actually, that was reverse initiative order. Norboros, if there's anything you would like to do in a surprise round. You are within the vicinity, or sorry. No, you do not actually have anyone immediately within 5 feet of you, and Jav, you're in in melee distance with the elf Dell. Actually, you know what I can do? 1 second.
I believe it's time for a toad.